In this video, I'm going to try and provide you with a way to frame around a window with a plumbing pipe next to it in a basement. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is create a straight line and then put plates on it, framing plates on the top and the bottom. And this line will need to be a little further past the pipe. You will need to check the distance of the pipe from the block wall, concrete wall, basement wall, I should say, and make sure that the pipe isn't going to be sticking out past the wall. It'll need to be behind the wall. Then you can fill in a few studs as shown in the picture. There's another angle showing you that the pipe is actually behind the wall framing. This is what you're going to need to do. Now, a simple solution for this would simply be to attach a flat 2x4 to the back of the wall framing, extend the plate or the 2x4 at least past 2 studs, and then you can attach it with a few A35s. I'm going to show you that later on in the video. And if you don't have enough room, you can always notch it into the wall studs as shown in the illustration, depending on what you're going to run into. And it should look something like this. And then you can nail your headers or your windowsill. And if you need a smaller, let's say a 2x4 isn't going to work for the upper above the windowsill because the pipe's in the way, then you can always go with a 1x4 or even a piece of plywood if necessary. And if the pipe, of course, is sticking down too far, then obviously this won't work. But most of the time, something like this should work because the pipe probably isn't going to be extending or protruding into the window or blocking the window, should I say. And then you can start framing around it. Here you can see we put the trimmer in on the left. And remember, this is a non-bearing wall, so you can do a few different things that you might not be able to do with a bearing wall. So you can notch the 2x4s. You can, it's going to be a non-structural wall, in other words. So you can space the 2x4s 24 inches on center if you want. Use the studs, put them flat, a few different things like that. And in the next picture, we added another 2x4 for the other 2x4s or wall studs you're going to put in between there. This 2x4, the one in the back, obviously wouldn't need to run as far as the other one. So you can see here, I'm kind of throwing out a few different ways that you can get a little creative here. So you can actually use these methods to on the bottom or the top, wherever the pipe's going to be in the way. In the next picture, you can get a pretty good idea how to fasten these together. This is a A35, Simpson A35 Tico clip. You can use any other type of hardware that's going to do the same thing to screw or nail the assembly together. And you might need to get a little creative. You can use different hardware to accomplish the same task. Like I said, I'm just kind of throwing out a few different ways to do something like this, but there are going to be other products you can use to accomplish the same goal. The next illustration provides us with the bottom of the window framing, just installing, looked like 3 2x4s there underneath it. And this picture here kind of provides you a picture of it from a distance. thought I was going to start another picture. Now this picture here actually shows the 2x4s running flat and running horizontal instead of vertical. Remember, it's a non-bearing wall. You can do things like this if the pipes are in the way. Now, if you look at the stud, the wall stud on the left of the plumbing pipe, you can see that I turned that flat also. You can do this if you have pipes in the way. You can turn the studs flat and put 2x4s behind them and run them horizontally to as supports to other flat studs if you are going to put a group of studs together. Now here's another thing you can do if you have a pipe in the way. Let's say you have a large pipe where you can't get a 2x4 behind it, then just run it from two other studs, connect it to two wall studs, and then use it to connect your other the other framing member or the 2x4, any 2x4s that you're going to need. Now, this type of framing is going to be a little flimsy. Once you put your drywall on, it's going to tighten everything up. And of course, if it is too flimsy, then you can always secure something to the basement wall if you want to. Just make sure you don't drill something too deep. The last thing you want to do is puncture the waterproofing on the exterior of the basement. So anyway, I hope this helps. If it does, hit the old thumbs up button, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment area. This was a response to an email I received, and I hope it helps.